Right, yeah, this is top fives. This is five disturbing and rare photos around 9/11, which we're kind of doing some stuff on 9/11. Got finished Tucker's series. Also seen a pilot debunking Tucker's thing. Anyway, we'll get to that. But yeah, let's go.
In the chaos and confusion of the 9/11 terrorist attacks, countless cameras were rolling. In apartments, on sidewalks, inside offices, and in the hands of ordinary people who never expected to document history. While some of that footage was widely broadcast, much of it remained unseen. In this video, we'll look at the rarely seen and often forgotten recordings from that day, not to sensationalize the tragedy, but to preserve memories, understand lived experiences, and honor the reality of what unfolded through the perspectives of those who were there. Pictures taken by passengers on commercial planes. On the morning of September 11th, 2001, life was proceeding as usual. Commuters were on their way to work, and children were settling in for their day at school. Steve Schwadron was aboard a Delta flight from Orlando, preparing for its final approach to LaGuardia Airport in New York City. Everything appeared normal as the plane descended, until his friend sitting next to him pointed out smoke rising from the Manhattan skyline. They quickly realized that the smoke was coming from each of the World Trade Center towers. In that moment, they were overwhelmed by a gut-wrenching feeling of dread. Steve quickly grabbed his camera and captured these poignant yet terrifying images through the aircraft window. In that moment, he had no idea what was happening and how the world was about to change forever. As the passengers aboard the half-empty aircraft began to speculate about the situation, the captain spoke over the intercom, acknowledging that something was occurring at the World Trade Center and that they were being rerouted to Boston. At some point, another passenger who had called someone using the airphone mentioned that planes had hit the towers and that the Pentagon had also been struck. Fear engulfed the cabin as the reality set in that America was under attack. The captain announced again, stating that they were being rerouted once more, this time to Providence, and within minutes, they were safely on the ground. Steve was not the only one to witness the burning towers that day. Many other pilots and passengers were aboard various commercial aircraft, flying in proximity to the city that fateful morning. The smoke column from the Twin Towers was so immense that it could be seen from as far away as 50 miles. This
Yeah,
meant
that's
that nearly
crazy
every
smoke.
airplane flying over New Jersey, Long Island, or descending into New York City's airspace had a view of the unfolding tragedy. By 9:45 a.m., US airspace was ordered to shut down, leading to an unprecedented directive for hundreds of flights to land immediately at the nearest airports. Many passengers recalled peering out their windows, witnessing the towering infernos as the buildings burned and tragically began to collapse. The sad reality is that passengers on United Airlines Flight 175 may have also had the same view and seen the smoke billowing from the World Trade Center. They also may have instinctively grabbed their cameras to take photos through the windows, unaware that they were heading toward the same fate. Unreleased footage. In 2001, French-American filmmakers Jules and Gédéon Naudet were in New York City creating a documentary about firefighters, focusing specifically on rookie firefighter Antonio Benetatos as he went through training with the New York City Fire Department, Ladder Company 1. On the morning of September 11th, Jules accompanied several firefighters to investigate reports of a gas leak in Lower Manhattan, while Gédéon stayed behind to film Benetatos. As Jules and the firefighters arrived at the corner of L'Esplanade and Church Streets to check for gas, American Airlines Flight 11 flew directly overhead. Jules, who was already recording, moved his camera upwards toward the noise and captured the horrific moment of the plane's impact into the North Tower of the World Trade Center. Take a look at this footage. The crash was soon recognized as a deliberate act, and Jules, along with the firefighters he was filming, rushed to the scene and captured footage of fire chiefs as they established a command post and evacuated civilians.
All right, come on down this way. Oh. Yeah, let's get out the way we came in.
Top of the escalator. Top of the escalator. Top of the escalator.
As the tragic events unfolded, Gedeon, deeply concerned for his brother, ventured into the chaotic streets of New York City, armed with his camera, and began capturing the raw and emotional reactions of the public, while documenting the horrifying moment when the second plane struck the South Tower. Gedeon managed to get a ride to the World Trade Center and found himself inside the North Tower when the South Tower collapsed. Seeking safety, he took refuge in a nearby fire truck. Once outside, he used his camera's light to navigate through the thick dust, helping an injured man before heading back to the firehouse to await news of his brother, whom he feared might not have escaped. Thankfully, after 2.5 long hours, the brothers were finally reunited, and their extraordinary footage became part of the documentary titled 9/11, which aired on CBS in 2002. However, not all of the footage has been released, and it is believed that both Jules and Gedeon hold exclusive recordings that are unlikely to ever be made public. Jules captured pivotal moments inside the World Trade Center lobby soon after the attacks, but this footage remains locked away in private archives, likely due to its disturbing content. Meanwhile, Gedeon's extensive footage, filmed as he moved between the fire station and the towers, has mostly gone unseen, with only a few clips appearing in the documentary. He also recorded significant events, including the North Tower on fire, various public reactions, the impact of the second plane, a plane engine on the pavement, and ultimately the tower's collapse. Yet the complete tape has never been released, and likely never will be.
That whole thing is crazy. The way he just was filmed, like, I'm surprised conspiracy theorists aren't on to him. You can't hear what they were saying. Maybe someone was like, that's heading for the towers, and he just lifted it up. But that was like perfect timing. He lifted that up and bang. But even just through the video, the sound of it, could you imagine actually being there? That sound must have been horrendous. Let me pause it.
Elevator camera footage. Now, we talked about this one last year, but it's so creepy and eerie to think about that we wanted to mention it again. Although no such footage has ever been found, the notion of its existence is troubling and rooted in reality. If the cameras were operational, they would have recorded the final, terrifying moments of those trapped inside the elevators during the attacks. The Twin Towers were equipped with an extensive network of elevators, 198 in total, and a complex vertical transportation system designed to efficiently move thousands of people across 110 floors. Many of these elevators were fitted with security cameras, primarily for monitoring purposes. So it stands to reason that CCTV footage from the elevators during the attacks could have existed. These recordings would not only have captured routine activity that morning, but also the harrowing chaos that unfolded when the planes struck and the buildings began to collapse. What makes the idea of this lost media particularly eerie is the awareness of what it might have contained. Survivors and witnesses recount experiences of elevators plummeting, filling with smoke, or becoming like ovens due to the fires ignited by jet fuel. People were trapped inside, engulfed in darkness and confusion, with nowhere to escape. If such footage did exist, it would represent one of the most disturbing visual records imaginable, not just because of the tragedy it would depict, but also due to its unique perspective. Inside a steel box, hundreds of feet above the ground, as the world descended into chaos. No elevator footage from September 11th has ever been released or confirmed to have survived. The reason is both straightforward and tragic. Most media equipment in the towers was destroyed in the collapse. At that time, CCTV systems were hardwired to on-site servers located within the buildings. When the towers fell, any recorded data was buried in debris or incinerated by fire. Some theorists suggest that fragments of this footage could still exist, perhaps saved by third-party security contractors or captured on monitors in off-site security offices. However, no such evidence has ever surfaced, and it is likely that, even if fragments once did exist, they were either destroyed in the chaos or deliberately suppressed due to their graphic nature. The idea of the World Trade Center elevator footage continues to haunt online forums and conspiracy circles. It symbolizes the unknowable aspects of a day already defined by overwhelming horror. While we may never truly understand what those cameras captured, they represented a lost window into the darkest moments of one of the world's worst ever tragedies.
Now, don't 100% quote me on this, but I'm pretty sure to take down a building, you need to blow out the elevator shaft. And I'm pretty sure I heard, I don't know whether it's 100% true, but they was doing work on the elevators a couple of weeks before, and I don't know if the elevators were actually in order. I don't think people was using them because they had been. I'm sure I remember seeing that. I was thinking, if there is one, there may not be camera things because they weren't using the elevators. One, you wouldn't want to see it because, yeah, of all the things he's named, them watching people cook alive like that would be some awful viewing. But also, if you do need to demolish a building from the elevator shaft, maybe there may be something on there that shows that they blew out I don't know. But yeah, let's carry on.
The Lost Man. After hearing that a plane had crashed into one of the Twin Towers, videographer Jack Tagliaccio rushed to the scene with a couple of colleagues from Fox News. Upon their arrival at the World Trade Center, they split up, and Jack found himself filming the plaza, the once busy square between the two towers. The footage he recorded is particularly haunting, as it features elevator music, often referred to as Muzak, which continued playing in the background amidst the chaos, as if it were a regular day. In a scene reminiscent of the band playing as the Titanic sank, a version of Billy Joel's "She's Always a Woman" can be heard blaring out from the undamaged sound system. We won't play all of it, as it contains some distressing scenes, but listen for the voice of a man who appears to be with Jack, who makes a rather distasteful comment.
Let's get out there together and take pictures. You don't know, you might find a hand. Let's get out there together and take pictures. You don't know, you might find a hand.
time, Jack was unaware that he was capturing footage of the aftermath of a terrorist attack, and after the first tower fell with a deafening rumble, he filmed people running in terror as thick, tornado-like clouds of dust and debris swirled around buildings, chasing them through the streets. He remained on site to record these harrowing scenes. However, when he finally decided to run, it was too late. The ominous black clouds quickly surrounded him, and the frames of his camera turned pitch black. Fortunately, Taliercio survived, as did his recordings, and he was later awarded a General Excellence in Photojournalism by the New York State Associated Press Broadcasters Association. He has also featured in notable works such as 102 Minutes That Changed America and Stories from Behind the Lens. It is widely believed that Taliercio filmed much more footage than has been made public, likely due to its distressing nature. However, there is one enduring mystery. The man who can be heard in the plaza footage with Jack was a stranger, and the identity and fate of the man is unknown. The man had approached Jack as he was heading into the World Trade Center complex and stayed with him until the South Tower collapsed. This is believed to be a photo of him. He made some pretty disgraceful remarks as people were jumping from the towers and appeared to be excited by the unfolding tragedy. It may be he didn't fully understand what was happening, and when the footage was released, he realized how insensitive he was and has lain low ever since. Either that or he became a victim himself. To date, there are no answers.
Shit, sorry. Muted my mic. But yeah, it's like, it could be a case of that he just saw the guy filming, saw the guy with a camera and thought it's a bit distasteful, and kind of was, because he sounded like he said, let's get up there, see if we can see ahead. So it might have been, but then it's weird that he stayed with him. But it might have been because, like, maybe because everyone's going crazy, and then this guy's just standing there filming, like it's, yeah, let's go around.
A piece of me wishes I never pressed record. One of the most powerful and raw pieces of footage ever released was recorded by New York University student Caroline Dries from her apartment window during the events of September 11th. This footage captured the North Tower burning, the South Tower being struck, and the subsequent collapse of both towers. Living in an apartment with a clear view of the World Trade Center, Dries' recording documented the immediate, confused, and traumatic reactions of students as they witnessed the events unfold. As she sat drinking beer with her flatmates, Dries filmed the smoke rising from the North Tower and captured many horrifying sights, including people jumping from the tower and Flight 175 impacting the South Tower. In the immediate aftermath of the attacks, at a time when social media didn't exist, the footage was broadcast on news outlets around the world. However, shortly after, Caroline removed the video from public view due to the negative feedback she faced regarding the casual nature of the conversation and drinking that occurred at the beginning of the video. Dries felt uncomfortable with the raw and intimate nature of the footage in light of such a tragedy, which contributed to her decision to take it down. Today, the full unedited video is no longer publicly accessible, although edited versions, often missing the in-room commentary and social scenes, have circulated over the years, and excerpts from her recordings were prominently featured in the 2008 History Channel documentary. This is the longest version we can find. Be warned, it is powerful and disturbing viewing.
A bomb just went off in the World Trade Center. It's unbelievable. It looked like an airplane crashed into the building. Thank God it wasn't terrorists, though. What is that falling? Is that a person?
Where?
Oh my God, falling. Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh my God!
Oh my God!
What? Oh my God! It's terrorist attack!
What do we do?
that feeling of like being so vulnerable was so overwhelming. And so we ran out of the apartment, took the elevator down to the street, and it was just kind of pandemonium on the street with no one knowing what was happening.
Feeling unsafe, they went back up to their apartment.
Megan drinking apple juice.
And vodka.
Mine's just juice, Mom. Screwdriver.
Yeah, Mom, this is totally apple juice. Way to go, way to start.
Oh!
Oh my god! Oh my god!
The footage shows the real raw reality of the situation. The sheer terror and pain in the students' voices is genuinely haunting. Caroline, who is now a successful television writer and producer, later reflected on her experience of 9/11 saying, "A piece of me wishes I never pressed record." So that's it for this video. Thanks for watching.
Why?
Stay safe everyone, and I'll see you next time.
I don't see what was so bad about. I mean, we didn't hear what the conversation was, but it doesn't really matter. There are a bunch of students. I mean, they was pretty devastated when they heard it and panicky. And then you go down on the street and see it's just mayhem. But you've probably got someone there going like, guys, just go back. Like, your building ain't going to get hit, don't worry. Well, I wouldn't take that for much, but I don't think there was anything bad with what they said. And, alright, they're drinking at 8 o'clock in the morning, but they're students. That's what students do. And that she said, oh, this isn't beer, Mum, it's apple juice. It's like, what else do you do other than go back and watch it? When she said, she must have just got such a pushback that she, I don't know. Why would you think, I wish I'd never recorded that? Like they said, you captured like a piece of history. No matter, like, how are you meant to react to that? There's nothing you can do. Nothing she can do about it. Other than what she did, scream. I mean, I guess maybe, yeah, the conversation, but like, they was, yeah, as shocked as you would be. It's a shame that, I suppose as well, wanting to go into TV in America and I'm guessing into Hollywood eventually. Yeah, you don't want too much of a controversial thing about you, but she should have just left it up. And I wish I never pressed record. It still would have happened. But yeah, that's the reaction. See.